Friends, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be watching the New World Dev Update for November 2023. I've already done a little bit of a spoilers for myself. I took a look at the timestamps down below here. They say roadmap revisions. Roadmap, for those of you not aware, is like Amazon basically giving us the future plans for New World. Like, so maybe we're going to see roadmap 2024. It's only like a 2-minute segment of the video, though, so maybe not. New season, Eternal Frost, solo trials, new expedition, new bosses, artifacts, seasonal events, inventory changes, improved group finder, and recap. So this looks to be a pretty juicy video. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the links in the description down below. Twitch chat, you guys will have to wait until the end of the video and I'll link it again. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what Scott and the dev team have to talk about for Season 4 and the future of New World. So without further ado, let's play the video. Let's see what they have to say. And I'll do some of my best reacting as well. Here we go, chat, if I can even play the video.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Season 4 Dev Update. We're still in Irvine. Got a big group of people with me today. Got Gwen, who you met a couple Dev Updates ago. He's a producer on New World. Dave V, who everyone knows.
Everybody loved Gwen last time.
The Associate Game Director.
Dave.
Got Rosie, the Wex Art lead.
Rosie.
Art lead. Chad, who's the AI lead.
Chad.
Patrick, who leads the Seasons and Progression teams.
Patrick.
Vince, who's the UX lead.
Vince.
And Dan down there, who is the Social and Mounts lead.
Dan.
Lots of leads here today.
Lots of, yeah, all the leads.
So before we get too deep into the Season 4 update, I want to talk a little about the roadmap. So at the beginning of the year,
Irvine is
we
in
released
California,
the roadmap
isn't it?
that talked about everything we were going to do this year, and we've been pretty diligent about it. But in the effort of full transparency, we've ended up moving some things out of Season 4, and I want to talk through those and just, own some of the things we missed on and talk about why.
Oh no, what are we not getting?
So the first one is the season trial with mutators. We decided to move this to Season 5 so we could do a little more focus on the expedition coming out this season. So we are still shipping a 10-person mutator, but it's going to be next release, and it probably won't have mutators. We're leaning heavily against that.
Huh.
Another one that's not happening is the seasonal trinket. So with this one, when we, artifacts weren't on the original roadmap and plan, and once we released artifacts, it seemed to fill the void of the trinket. And we thought before we start putting more things in the mix, let's watch what happens with this, get player feedback, and figure out if trinkets is still the right thing to do or we want to go a different direction.
It's got to be said, I don't really know what we're missing because I don't know what it was going to look like, chat. So I don't know how upset we should be by the fact that these aren't going to be in the game because I don't know what they were going to be to start with. So yeah, it sounds like we may be missing out on like a mutated raid. They're talking about like a 10-man expedition, which sounds cool, and it's still going to happen. It's just not going to be mutated. So that's good, I guess. I'm a little bit lost as to what we're not getting exactly.
This next one is the MSQ update. So we were planning to finish the MSQ this release in December. However, we're not really happy with the way that the MSQ update went in the last release.
If anybody who doesn't know, by the way, MSQ is main story quest line. So they were going to bring it all the way up to Tempest Heart, but I think clearly that's going to get delayed as well. I don't think that's that big of an issue. I feel like most people are probably already level 60, 65. I mean, for those people who are still working their way through the game, that's a bit of a bummer, but don't think it affects a massive portion of the player base. So
we wanted to put a little extra time just to make sure we give you a quality experience. So that's going to move into the next one. Mm-hmm. We had already talked about really not being into heart runes. I think we did enough of those, and I think that anymore we get a little bit convoluted.
Okay.
Next one, we're going to go into this really deep later, but at a top level, Crossworld Expeditions and Arenas is moving. Now,
no, dude.
The reason it's moving is we wanted to surprise everyone with an improved group finder.
Come on.
And we did, it's underway, but it's going to take a little longer than we wanted, so it's not going to make Season 4. However, we will deep dive on that in a little bit.
I'm sad.
And then finally, the seasonal territory control.
Dude, what?
Again,
what is in Season 4 then? Is there anything? Come on. Oh, man. I mean, at least, like the owning it, but man, this is a sad start to the video. I was looking forward to cross-server group finder and arena and stuff.
We talked about doing this, but the influence races have done such a good job of engaging the players. We want to get more feedback, and we'd rather respond to feedback and improve that than try to throw another system into the mix. So there's good reasons for it, and this is just, when you release a roadmap, 12 months out, you don't always know how things are going to evolve over time and what's going to happen in the live environment. So things change, and we just wanted to, be open and honest and get in front of the changes.
All right.
So with that,
now the good stuff. Let's go.
I'd like to shift the focus to Season 4 and talk about Eternal Frost.
Okay.
There's some pretty cool stuff coming this month. And the very first thing is
this month.
It comes with a new storyline. And someone's going to tell you about that who's sitting behind me.
Yeah, so Season 4 storyline. The Silver Crows are back, so very excited to have Grace O'Malley, Xander, and the crew back to take you on a new adventure. With this storyline, we have an old client, Sky the Spear Daughter. She returns and warns that the Varangians are back up to no good. They never seem to be up to any good, so we're fighting them again.
This month, right, chat?
With her coming and bringing that news, you need to seek out new allies. So that brings in
cool cutscenes.
Daichi Saito, the new member of the Silver Crows, who you'll have to fight him to gain his respect in order for him to join the Crows. So it's one of several soul trials that come with this season narrative, which is super exciting. We're really expanding our quantity of soul trials we're doing with the season narrative. So, Chad, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to say really quick, Amazon, I don't know if you guys, this will get in front of you. These soul trials that you do are really cool, but the problem is you do them once and then never again. Make them repeatable. I tell you, just look here. Here's my suggestion, okay? You take the soul trial, you have a mode over here, and it's called soul trials, and you hit the button, and it throws you into a random soul trial. You can complete them. Only 3 times a day. Each time it gives you 20 dark matter and maybe the chance at a chromatic seal or something like that. People will love it. You can recycle content. It's an easy win. Just you put so much effort into these soul trials. Just have them repeatable. Have them be like a solo sort of dungeon thing that you can queue up for. Dude, it would be so good, man. It would be a way for people to get dark matter. Everybody would like it. If people don't like it, they don't have to engage in it. But I just think it would be a universal win. Please do it. It's easy content. It's an easy win. It's right there. Just do it.
All right. So, come on, Chad. Like you were saying, I think we've got a total of, 4 solo trial boss fights. So we've got the Daichi encounter, another fight with the Ice Dragon, well as kind of an ultimate Ice Guardian. That one in particular I really like. Has some great mechanics that we haven't really seen yet. Interacting with some throwable objects to kind of break this interaction that the boss is doing with some rooms in the environment. I think that one's really fun. And then an ultimate fight with Mordred, which is really cool. He's got some really interesting, not seen before, new abilities.
And I think the quest experience is once again up-leveled. Like it's just, there's so many fun quests. There's one where you actually play on a chessboard. Like there's a mission in that. Like we've just found new interactions in the quest.
Questing in New World has gotten so much better over time. I do want to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, personally, I like
it. Is so much better.
We've done a lot for the group, the PvE group players. We've done a lot for the PvP players recently. And now we're doing more for the solo players. And I want to make sure the message is we care about all of the groups of players. And
make them repeatable.
At a high level. I love the solo trials. They're pretty cool. We also have a new expedition coming out, the Glacial Tarn for level 65 players.
Glacial Tarn?
What makes that cool?
Well, the Glacial Tarn, in contrast to the Empyrean Forge, is going to be all icy and cold. So we have some real extremes in temperature.
Frost
and it's really interesting second half to the Empyrean Forge. So we see those two, sort of the two sides of the hot and the cold.
Yeah, and just to talk a little bit about what players are going to be encountering in there. We've got some really neat environmental interactions.
There's an icicle falling. That's cool.
Stalactites or icicles dropping from the ceiling on the
player. Reminds me of like Legend of Zelda.
Some really interesting kind of empowering mechanics where
Splash
players have to defeat it, gathering flame. Some new enemies with icy ancient guardians, ice Varangians, and some new bosses. Gwen, you want to tell us about those?
Yeah, the new Ice Torso boss. Does he have a player-facing name?
Sir Loth.
Sir Loth, that's right. Yeah, so we've got the Ice Commander, Sir Loth, in Glacial Tarn.
It's Icy Jardis.
I think the most exciting thing about that fight is just how much there is going on. And there's going to be a few different ways that you can play it. There's other AI that are going to be buffing the boss.
Is it the same animations as Jardis?
There are weak points that you can target if you're
it's a little bit different.
Focused on ranged play. And there's also a lot of movement around the arena. So harkening back to Empyrean Forge, you have to really pay attention to what's around you and make sure you're not getting caught in the floor turning into lava. And this time you actually have a lot more control over the arena itself because the boss can break the bridges, but you can also build them back up. So making sure you're not caught on a platform where you need to be. I still haven't beat it in playtest yet, so I'm gonna need to work on it a little bit harder.
Maybe you should stop playing with Dave V. and get other people?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, maybe more with like
Sorry.
Pride and Darren. They were a little bit better. But then I play healer, so maybe I should be keeping Dave alive better.
I like that.
I think the best healer in the world could do
Chaw
that.
dice. I like it. Chaw dice.
Sorry. We got a couple new artifacts. You want to talk about those?
Life staff artifact.
Yeah, so new artifacts. So for those
Bow.
of you who are done with your chase from the expansion artifacts, we're introducing 8 new ones.
8.
Pretty diverse cast of weapons and armor. So those
That's good.
weapons that did not get artifacts with the expansion, the life staff, the bow, things like that, they're finally going to get their time in the sun, and they should be pretty fun for players to chase.
8 is
2 of
more
my
than I thought.
favorites. Vengeance, the life staff.
Oh, let's take a look. What is this? When you successfully heal, gain 1% damage for 10 seconds. Interesting. When you successfully heal, 1% damage stacks up to, so it's a 20% damage boost on it. Okay. DPS life staff. Sounds pretty good.
Pretty unique weapon here. It takes more of an offensive approach for the life staff and increases the damage.
Originally, this was going to nerf your healing as well, so it seems like they took away that one. So yeah, it's just a life staff that's doing 20% extra damage. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess. It was going to like also nerf your healing at the same time, so it looks like they took away from that, unless this is in the perks that we don't have unlocked. Hold on, I'm going to take a quick look at if there's any other spoilers here as well, chat. Anything else we can notice that's different? What is that thing now? What is that thing? What? I don't know what that is that he's got in his consumable. It looks disgusting. Artifact heavy boots, artifact medium boots, artifact medium gloves, artifact light legs, artifact bow. Yeah, there's some new icons in here, chat. Some new stuff. Artifact round shield as well. Yeah, I didn't even see that one. Good spot. Did not notice that one. I'm sure they're going to show them anyway, but let's go.
You deal based on how many times you're healing people. So I'm sure there's some pretty fun interactions there for players to find. There's also Gladiator, the round shield.
Oh, sorry. We got to pause on all of these. What is this? Jagged spikes. When you are hit in melee, inflict a bleed on your attacker, dealing 10% weapon damage for 10 seconds. Ooh, 3-second cooldown. Wow, when you're hit in melee, it's got diminishing shield bash and fortifying shield rush, so it wants to be paired with a sword. You don't really want to use this with a flail then. Interesting. 10% weapon damage bleed for 10 seconds. So this wants to be paired with the Butcher as well, right? The Butcher and then the Gladiator. Seems like a very natural synergy there. Shame that you can't really pair it with Flail because 2 weapon perks for sword, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
What this does is it acts as
camera
a
off.
sort of thorns where when you take melee damage, you then inflict a bleed on the player. So some interesting interactions there. Dave, any other favorites from you?
Yeah, I got 2 favorites also. One, I know all the bow players felt left out. Your bow is coming, Boltcaster.
Boltcaster. 99% damage converted to lightning, and lightning damage is increased by 20% on both weapons. Isn't that just the thing from the Warhammer? 99% damage converted to lightning, lightning damage converted. I think the second perk is really exciting though, chat. If this is the same one that was data mined, the second perk, which is another one that's unique, is like you do stuns on damage. It's a shame you can't pair this with the lightning Warhammer.
It's really cool. It does, as you can guess, lightning damage. But the other nice thing is is if you hit someone with full health, you get a stun.
Oh, yeah,
so
it is.
That's going to be very interesting
That's
to
gonna
see
be really
the
annoying.
power of bows plus a stun.
Really annoying in Outpost
Another
Rush.
one I love is quick draw gloves.
Oh my god, dude. So you hit somebody full health and it stuns them, and which is just going to be, you heal up in Outpost Rush, stun, heal up, stun, heal up, You're just going to constantly be getting micro stuns all the time. You're immune to damage for half a second after you weapon swap. 12-second cooldown. Not too excited. That doesn't sound very good, to be honest. You're immune to damage for 0.5 seconds. 12-second cooldown. I mean, aren't you... That's basically just like getting another dodge, but with a 12-second cooldown. It's kind of okay-ish, I guess. I don't know. I don't rate that very highly right now, but maybe I'm just, I'm bad. Seems like a bit too long of a cooldown to really make use of it.
What I like about this is it really changes the gameplay, right? It's not just numbers. Every time you swap weapons with these gloves on, you get a little bit of immunity. So it's neat to sort of like plan out your weapon swaps and sort of have a different
It's going to be really hard to like time that right, to time the weapon swap before you receive damage. This is going to be a tricky one to make use of. If it was like 1 second, I don't know, maybe it'd be too OP. But that seems like a small window to try and time it really well. Because you usually get to be like a stun or something, like you get hit with a Warhammer or whatever. I don't know.
On gameplay, so some pretty interesting ones.
I'm really excited about the DPS life staff. I haven't even come close to finishing my artifacts so far, so those are just going to go on hold for a little bit.
We're bringing back the 500 focus DPS life staff build, chat.
I think, like I mentioned this in the earlier part, but I think artifacts just changes the game, and they're so fun as chase items at the end, like really awesome.
I'm going to 1v1.
We're also bringing back some of our favorite seasonal events. We have the Winter Convergence Festival and the Legacy of Crassus, and I don't know about you, Patrick, but I am looking forward to seeing those Gleamites come sailing in.
I'm excited too, and that's a great segue because one of the bigger changes with the Convergence this year is we're really increasing the frequency of those Gleamite meteors. They're such a cool thing in Turnum, and you only get to see it for a month out of the year.
They are really
cool. We really
cool.
wanted to make sure that players are seeing a lot of those at night. And
if you guys haven't seen a Gleamite, by the way, chat, I'll show at the end of the video.
The standard reward
I'll spoil it what a Gleamite looks like, but that's so cool.
And one of the, I think, coolest things about the Convergence this year is we're changing the way crafting works with these holiday events. So what we're doing is introducing a new...
Look at that. Look at it, chat. Do you see it? That's a chromatic seal and an Azoth inductor that you can buy in the freaking shop. Look at that. We were just talking about this on the podcast. Like, what if you could buy a chromatic seal in the event shop? Holy flip, it's definitely worth doing the event. Man, that's big. And you can buy Gleamite as well. I don't even know what that is. Is there anything else? Pop the bottle. That's a big deal, dude. That's big. Definitely going to be farming the event for that one.
New resource, the Pristine Gleamite chunk from the shop.
What does that
do? You can
do?
buy this, and that'll let you craft a guaranteed 700 item with some fixed perks.
Wow.
And should be a really awesome way for players to hop in Gleamite.
Let me read this again. Sorry, I'm pausing so much, but there's so much to take. What does this do? Let me read the tooltip again.
Holiday events. So what we're doing is introducing a new resource, the
heavily sought after crafting weapons and armor. This item can be used at a different crafting station to create strong winter-themed weapons and armor. So guaranteed 700 gear score. It does look like it has the weekly lockout, so you can only buy one every week, like with the Azoth Inductor. 5 days, 15 hours, 36 minutes. That's pretty big, though.
A Pristine Gleamite chunk from the shop. You can buy this, and that'll let you craft a guaranteed 700 item with some fixed perks.
Nice.
And should be a really awesome way for players to hop into events like Winter Convergence and get some great gear out of it. Outside of that, Legacy of Crassus you touched on. So there's going to be a new pickaxe. Might be best in slot, might not.
Oh,
but what it does have
tools.
is a unique skin, so players can go chase that. And there's also 2 new statues that come from the event from each of the corrupted Cyclopses. Those will be fun to decorate your house with.
Okay.
Getting a tool from the event is unusual.
Vince, you want to tell us about some of the inventory changes, quality of life improvements?
Sure, yeah. We've been gathering feedback for a while now on inventory and some changes. And I'm glad to announce that, really big changes are coming in. So one of them is that basically right now the view of your inventory items is all 2 columns. So you have like 2 columns of, and it gets really long if you have a lot of rewards or a lot of things in a specific category.
Mm-hmm.
You can now change that to 1 column so it can go wider. You can also reorganize and either change the order of all of your categories as well as turn on or turn off some categories too.
Okay.
So if you really don't like gems, you can hide them all, and then you can change all of this sort of at will. If you like the 2-column layout, you can also move things from one column to the other. If you like all the crafting stuff on the right and all your gear on the left or the other way, you can make all those changes as well. And another cool feature that people have been asking about that we're really excited too is within each category you can do batch crafting based on rarity. So you just check the box of the rarity of stuff you want to, or salvage, you want to salvage, and then you basically just salvage all. So if you're like Scott Lane, you want to salvage all your commons and legendaries, you can go do that. If you're like Dave V and you're anti-blue and you just want to nuke all of that rarity, you can go for it.
Gone.
So
That's good. That's a good change.
we think we're really excited about this one, and we think we've addressed a lot of the feedback. But please keep it coming, and we'll continue to keep making improvements to inventory.
I tell you what, one thing that I do want to see changed as well is like whenever you salvage things and like this thing pops up in front of your screen, when you're doing a big salvage section, that didn't pop up as like to the same way, but when you're salvaging lots of stuff and then the thing just is like constantly over the top of the stuff you're salvaging, it's really annoying. So if there was some way to like move that, I mean, maybe that's already included, but yeah, that would be a nice little thing. Just the annoying pop-ups that cover your screen all the time.
Good timing. Weren't you just talking about salvaging legendaries and how the UI creates a little bit of excess clicking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Control-C gets a little frustrating. So I'm very, very happy for this change, and thank you, Vince. I think it's a huge quality of life improvement, and it's something that we're going to continue to pay attention to, not just inventory, but quality of life. So earlier on, I mentioned that we were moving cross-world expeditions and arenas out because we wanted to focus on improved group finder.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you tell us exactly what that's going to encompass?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, the wait, it's almost over. We've almost got it. We are going to do cross-world expeditions with a one-click group finder.
Just press play and go.
You can go as a solo, you can click the button. As a pre-made group, you can click the button. You will find a group to play expeditions with cross-world. We're doing, we're supporting all the vanilla expeditions. We're also going to support mutated expeditions as well.
Nice. And this has roll queue, Dan, so you can be assured you always have a tank and healer in your groups?
You go into the system, you pick a role. It's going to it's going to balance things out. You're going to have a bonus for those in-demand roles. And
oh, dude,
yeah.
a bonus.
Any other bonuses, like just to give you incentives?
Probably
to
the tanks, to be honest. Maybe healers.
You should ask. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There is a 3x daily bonus for clicking the big random button that will send you to, wherever you're needed the most to fill a group right now.
Interesting.
And isn't there even more, Dan?
3 times.
What if,
Sure
I think
there's no end to this stuff, Dave.
with pugs versus pre-made groups, sometimes
your tank builds
you
ready,
don't have that coordination, so it's a little more difficult with pickup groups. Are there any sort of compensation or incentives to help that group along?
Yes, absolutely. This is not an original thing by any means, but we're adding a 15% buff when you end up in a random group to damage and healing.
Interesting. So if
I'm excited for this. I think, one of the controversial topics was like, should we do these one-click group finders for mutations? Because mutations are a little bit more, makes sense, obviously.
You can only do so many per week, so you don't want to burn your runs.
We're going to try doing it. I think it's the right way to do it. But I think we talked about not having them impact the leaderboard, right?
Like no leaderboard placement for
so that can stay pristine. I think it's going to be super fun. Like just the ability to press one button, never have to link gear again, never have to beg for groups or anything.
It sounds good in theory.
Group instantly. It's just
for me, it's as much about the wait, not having to try to wait for a group to form. Like when you're combining that with cross world, it's gonna feel much more on demand, and that's exciting. And healers, you're gonna get paid extra.
I appreciate that buff too, because as a healer, having good group synergy with the people that I always play with is really beneficial. But now I don't have to worry.
So thanks again, everybody. And just as a recap today, we talked about some roadmap changes. We went into deep dive on all of the Season 4 features, including a new storyline, the new expedition, artifacts, our upcoming seasonal events, the awesome quality of life updates we've done, as well as giving you a little insight into where we're going with the improved group finder. So thank you again, everybody, for doing that. We'd also like to elicit questions for the Q&A. And we've seen the feedback that people feel like we're not answering all of their awesome questions or giving enough detail.
Yeah.
So one thing we're going to do is be a little more prescriptive on the kind of questions we are comfortable answering. And hopefully this will feel more respectful of your time, because we really do appreciate you asking the questions.
Like the lightning bees.
With that said, if you like what you saw, please like us, subscribe, all of those cool things. And otherwise, we will see you in Eternum in Season 4.
All right, dude.
Everyone wave now.
Season 4. Well, chat, I'm pretty bummed out that there's no, group finder. We're gonna have to wait until next year for that one. It's, group finder until next year. Although it does, I don't know. I'm both torn. I'm excited and not excited for the group finder, because there's gonna be somebody who's like, oh, dude, I get a 3 times bonus if I play tank. Well, I'm just gonna play tank, and then they go in there with a spear and a musket and they're like, I'm the tank. I'm like, no, you're not a tank. And then it counts towards your mutated dungeon run, and you just I don't know how many runs are gonna get burned with somebody just doing that sort of thing. So yeah, they said that. I don't know what the 3 times bonus is. Yeah, that's true. A 3 times bonus to what? A gold? Dark matter? I'm not sure. They said it will be part of Season 4, just not the start. Actually, let's take a look. They do have the article as well up on the website, so maybe that'll give us just a few more quick pieces of info. And again, for YouTube, I'll link this in the description. Twitch chat, just give me a moment and I'll open this up and I can link it in chat. Eternal Frost announcement. Dude, this is a cool image, by the way. That looks pretty awesome. Is that dog or cat? And there's charred ice, as you guys called him. I do like that, by the way. I'm gonna steal that from you, Twitch chat. Charred ice. Conquer the Glacial Tarn Expedition, celebrate Winter Convergence, and stop the Night of the Round Table when Eternal Frost released on December 12th. Okay, so we have December 12th, chat. So what is that? That is 5 weeks from now, I think. 5 weeks to go. Can look forward to new artifacts. Crossbold Expeditions will go live alongside Group Finder later in the season. Okay, so it is still in Season 4. So yeah, the improved Group Finder is going to be later in Season 4. Okay, so it will still be in here. That's kind of cool. Anything else? Major updates, new seasonal story, new season pass. Any of the skins look cool? Got like a little bit of a steampunk thing kind of going on there with the faces. New expedition. New artifacts. So did they name any of these, by the way? Here we go. Find and equip 8 new artifacts to redefine your playstyle. These powerful weapons and armor feature their own quests, stun and shock enemies with the bolt caster, boost your own speed, and reduce cooldowns with the wing shoes. Interesting. Freeze and finish your enemies with the frozen gauntlet and more. Freeze and finish your enemies with the frozen gauntlet. Not really giving too many clues away there. Future updates, we're going to get the Crossworld Expeditions with improved Group Finder. Winter Convergence is coming in. They're bringing back the Winter Boss as well, by the looks of it. The Yeti guy, Winter Wanderer, whatever. Legacy of Crassus. This kind of was pretty bad last time around. However, chat, you know what? You know what I think they're going to do with the Legacy of Crassus? I think it's going to be a way to get Adamant. I'm gonna call it now, chat. You will be able to get Adamant and Hardened Crystal and stuff from the Legacy of Crassus. I think they're going to put it in the loot table. And then you will definitely want to farm it. I'm making the call now. I could be completely wrong, but I'm doing the bold call that you'll be able to earn Adamant and stuff in the Legacy of Crassus, and then you'll 100% want to farm it. I also, chat, before we wrap this up as well, I did say I would show you guys a Gleamite Meteor. If you guys haven't seen these before, because you only started playing the New World during the expansion or something, these are really cool, by the way. Spoilers, big spoilers, chat, just in case you want to keep some of the winter event special. This is going to be spoilers, but this is pretty cool. So this is recorded from like 2 years ago, I want to say. But this is like one of my favorite things about the Winter Convergence event. This is a Gleamite Meteor. And again, this is spoilers. If you don't want to see what's happening in the winter event and keep it fresh for yourself, it might be worthwhile. But here we go. I'm gonna go to. I'm risking it, chat. I'm gonna go to 1080. Here we go. Lifestaff Great Axe. Yeah, you can tell it's old school. Dude, the noise is so good. Dude, it's so cool, man. It's so cool. And then you go over and mine them, and then you can turn them into currency, and then trade those in for, you can trade those in for, whatchamacallit. You'll get the Azoth Inductor and the Chromatic Seal. Yeah, dude, the audio is incredible, man. It reminds you of some, like, War of the Worlds kind of stuff. So yeah, excited for those to come back. Honestly, hands down, the best part about the Winter Convergence is just seeing those things and listening to them. Yeah, the sound design's so good. All right, friends, I think that is it for the video and the stream as well. So YouTube, if you guys enjoyed this one, if you like these sort of React videos, 8 new artifacts, pretty exciting. Disappointed about the Group Finder thing, but at least it is still coming in Season 4. It's just going to be a bit delayed. So yeah, I guess my prediction is if Group Finder is delayed, I don't think it's going to be before Christmas, honestly. Like, they wouldn't delay it by only a week, so it's probably not going to be until like January, I guess late January, until we get the Group Finder thing for expeditions and stuff like that. I wonder if cross-server 3v3 is happening sooner. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep going. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure you go ahead, click the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.